Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. As you can see here, I have all of my alcohol-based markers at the ready and I've got my coloring book, Just Add Sparkles, and I'm going to be coloring some fall pictures today. I actually have a lot of fall and Halloween type of pictures to choose from. There's this witch room, this cool celestial one, a little pumpkin girl, and I think this one's vampire-ish, but I'm going to start with this one today. It has pumpkins, a little drink, a fire with a s'more, some cute shoes, and a fall outfit, and I think this just screams fall, so I cannot wait to color it with you. Before I do, be sure to like and subscribe, and you can color along too in my coloring book, Just Add Sparkles on Amazon.com. Let's do it. This page basically represents fall to a T. It's got the pumpkins and the warm cozy drink and the cute aesthetics, so I felt like this would be the perfect page to kick off our fall coloring spree. I really have been in the mood for some fall, and that's kind of sad because it's like 100 degrees where I live. I don't know about you guys, but fall is basically nowhere in sight at the moment, but I really want it, and I feel like it's been coming earlier every year. And I don't mean that in terms of the weather, but I mean that in terms of the vibes. Like, you go out to the stores, they already have pumpkin spice lattes. We've already got fall and Halloween decorations. It's just coming quicker every year. I usually try to embrace the seasons, but I have to be honest, I am ready for fall. I am in the fall state of mind. I'm already burning my candles, even though, like I said, it is literally 100 degrees outside, so that's not helpful. But I just cannot get it out of my mind, and I'm kind of in the fall spirit as well. I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just really getting in those fall vibes and spirit. So I felt like this was the perfect way to kind of satisfy me a little bit and give me a little taste of fall. So let's do some of that coloring. I got new pastel markers lately, so I was really excited to give those a go as well. I feel like they really broadened my color palettes. I usually have very intense and saturated colors, which is great and perfect, but I felt like I really wanted to try and do kind of a more mature and kind of relaxing fall vibe and kind of do some lighter, softer colors that are a little bit more nature oriented. So that's what I'm aiming for this color palette and color scheme. But these pastel colors really did add a lot. I bought them with my own money and they are Ohuhu markers, but I'll link them down below with my Amazon affiliate link if you want to try them out too, because they actually are pretty pastel. Although I will say I did notice that they seem to have like more alcohol in them, so they're like more diluted with it, so they kind of leave blotches a little easier. I feel like they're a little more temperamental, but they're worth the pastel colors. I've also been really into coloring lately because I haven't really wanted to make anything new. I haven't felt really inspired. I haven't felt the need to create something different. I don't know, it just feels like a lot of pressure, feels kind of scary, and I'm not feeling a lot of inspiration. Maybe I'm going through a season of art block, or maybe I don't know, maybe I just don't want to right now, but I do want to keep being creative. I feel like for me and who I am, and maybe you guys will relate to this, but I need to be creative like for my health. Like, it's really good for me. So something I've been turning to a lot lately is coloring, especially in my coloring pages, because for me it's more fun because I'm like, ooh, I made these and now I can test out a whole bunch of different coloring palettes and little styles on it without the pressure of messing up an entire drawing. There is so much pressure when you draw something perfect, outline it, you're like, wow, this is so good. Always take a picture, before you mess it up with the colors, and then you go on with your colors, you go outside the lines, maybe you pick one wrong color and everything's off. And so this is nice to just kind of skip the steps of worrying about, am I going to mess this up, because you didn't make it? It's just coloring and you can color it however you want and it's going to turn out beautiful and it's not a big deal. So I've been really enjoying coloring, especially this one. We had some fall jazz music playing in the background. I did some little color palettes and schemes that were really fall oriented. I tried to make this one like a cozy rainy fall day, not so much as like an intense orange autumn, but a really soft dark academia kind of fall vibe. And now it's time for me to kind of fill in all of the backgrounds. I like to do basically whatever colors I want for the pictures, and then I use the little background boxes to kind of match everything a little bit more. So since I put blue in the bottom right corner, I'm going ahead and putting it in the top left just to add in some symmetry and to make everything look harmonized and unified. Okay, now I have to ask you guys, what is your favorite season? I feel like it's clearly fall. You would think that I'm talking about it like it's the best thing on earth. So you would think that, but I'm actually not sure. I'm one of those people that like it's wintertime and I'm just like, man, I wish it was summer and I could go to the beach. And then it's fall, and I'm actually usually really content in the fall, so maybe it is just fall. I also like spring, but I feel like it gets hot too quickly. I don't know. I mean, I think all of the seasons obviously have their ups, but now it's time for my white gel pen highlights, and of course, adding in some gold as well. I added those in a little bit everywhere, and here is how this first drawing turned out. I think it is the epitome of fall, and it's actually inspired by this drawing I've done on here before, but this one is like more of a vibrant fall, and then this one's a softer kind of rainy fall. Which one did you like better? But now it's time for the next drawing, which is going to be of this girl in a hat and a scarf during the fall season. And this one is really hard not to turn into a winter look, so I'm really going to make sure that I keep this color palette feeling fall. I've actually colored this one before on this channel too, and I made her hair brown, her eyes brown, and I did her hat green, I think, and then I did her shirt kind of a yellowy caramel color, but I think it kind of read Christmassy, and I don't want it to read Christmas. Oh, it's because I did her hair red. That's why it was Christmas, because I had kind of a red and green color combination going on. So for this one, I'm going to avoid anything that could make it Christmassy, which was actually really challenging. But first, I started out with the skin. I love coloring in skin tones and adding in all of that warmth and depth and dimension, but it's also really challenging, so I like to get it out of the way first. That way I can just go to the parts that are more satisfying, like coloring in hair. I love coloring in hair. I have this wispy marker process, and it's very aesthetic and satisfying to do. And then I went ahead and colored in her eyebrow. I decided to challenge myself with blonde hair. I feel like blonde hair is really challenging, and I haven't quite mastered it yet, because for blonde hair, it's not like yellow, it's not like white, but you can't really capture it with browns. It's very hard to do, so I used kind of a blend of two different markers, but it turned out a little too orange, but that's okay. I mean, everyone's hair gets a little tinted by the sunlight, so I just embraced it. And it's also fall, so we have a little more orange in there. It's alright. But then I went ahead and finished some details on the skin. I always like to try and make things look contrasted and bring them to life. And now it's time to pick the colors for the clothes. In my head, if fall was a color, it would be orange and brown. So that's kind of the thought process here. I decided to make the hat brown. So I used this kind of rich, warm brown to add in some colors there, and just to keep it feeling very fall. And then since I'm not very ambitious and I'm not willing to risk making things look Christmassy or clash the colors, I decided to keep the scarf the same color as the hat, but I accidentally colored in the whole space in between her hair and not just the scarf. So we're just gonna roll with that and pretend like the scarf is a really big, fluffy, warm, beautiful scarf, okay? We're just gonna roll with it. Again, there are no mistakes in coloring. We did it on purpose, all right? So then for the sweater color, I really wanted to do red, but I was like, no. That will end up looking like Christmas. Please don't do red. Do orange. So I went against my judgment and did some orange instead. And I do think that was a good call. I didn't do a bright orange. I kept it kind of muted. And I think that worked well, especially for the theme that I was going for, which is obviously fall. And then it was time to do the fall leaves in the background, which I'm so glad I added to this coloring page, because that's really, in my opinion, what ties it all together and makes it look like fall, because otherwise you could take it to winter, which you can still if you want to, and make the leaves all brown and dead in the background. But I wanted to make them some bright, colorful fall leaves, so I went ahead in with bright reds and oranges and yellows and did that in the background. And then I wanted to make the eyes pop more and add some contrast for all of those fall colors, so I added this really soft, bright blue to the background, and then I deepened her eyes a little bit to make them hopefully just really pop out. And of course, I added in my white gel pen highlights and sparkles all over the place. I even added it to the hat and the scarf, kind of to show some texture in them and make them look a little bit sparkly and shiny. And here is how this one turned out. I think it is so cozy, and I think it's very autumnal. I very much like it. And here is the first one again. This one's very much dark academia, fall rainy day vibes, and I'm here for it. Here they are side by side. Let me know today which one of these you liked better and which one turned out to be your favorite. I really like both of them. I think they're so fun and so beautiful, and they were so fun to color in and definitely helped me to embrace some fall vibes. Thank you guys for coloring along with me. Again, let me know which one of these you liked best. And if you want to color along in this coloring book too, you can. It's on Amazon.com and it's called Just Add Sparkles, and it's a coloring book where everything shines. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!